Few months ago, I tried to cancel Amazon Prime. 5 minutes later, I was still clicking. I am not stupid. They designed the system to confuse me. So, I started looking at other companies. Watch what I found. Your gym cancels only in person.
They make you go all the way down there. Then they use all these phrases and peppiness to try to confuse you.
Hotels, $25 a room becomes $70 when you check out. And Adobe, they charge roughly $300 in hidden termination fee.
If your customers sign up with a click, you have to let them cancel with a click.
Fine, as long as I can still charge them if they cancel early.
Easy in, hard out every single time. Something is not right. Over 15,000 jobs are posted on LinkedIn about retention specialist. Their job, stop you from canceling from subscriptions. In fact, there are conferences teaching these tactics at scale, and software companies are selling this as a service. And then there's this question that made me keep investigating when I found out that Amazon paid $2.5 billion in FTC fines, the largest consumer protection fine in history, and they still kept doing it anyway. Why are they willing to lose billions and still keep the system? Today, I'm going to show you 4 patterns they all use to trap you. Let me expose their playbook. So, after the Amazon thing, I started researching about the people around me, and I discovered it is very difficult to cancel memberships. And I started collecting evidences and screenshots to document them, because I had this feeling like this can't be all coincidence, right? After a few days of investigation, I had maybe 40 screenshots, and then I laid them all out. 4 patterns kept on appearing over and over. Turns out there's a name for this: dark patterns. It's when design deliberately tricks you into doing something you didn't mean to do. And once you know what to look for, you see them everywhere. Let me show you. Let's say you are going to take a trip and you have to book a hotel for it. What will you do? You will go on Google and start searching for different hotel prices. And the moment you see a good deal, let's say $25, and click it, and by the time you are done entering the final information, you have invested close to 5 to 10 minutes for this booking. And when you come to the last screen, you notice that price from $25 went up to $70. These prices may include anything that makes no sense. Things like mandatory resort fee, which could be $45 a night, or some other fees that you were not considering. What do? You go and check other hotels, and same thing. All of them, they may start at $30, and by the time you reach the checkout, it becomes $60 or $80. By the time you see the real price, you have already invested 10 to 20 minutes checking different hotels, filling in all those informations, and restarting again in hopes to find a price that makes sense. There's even a name for it, and it's called drip pricing. They drip the real price to you slowly, and after you have already been hooked, you start seeing the real price. And you will see this pattern everywhere. Hotels, car rentals, airlines, same tactics. Let's say you decide to cancel your gym membership, and I have seen this over and over again on different Reddit forums. People sign up for the gym membership, and when they try to cancel, somewhere hidden in those lengthy terms and conditions, it seems they can't cancel it. What you can do is you could go and cancel your credit card, but then they will start sending you emails or start calling you that you are a defaulter. In fact, some gyms force you to go and cancel in person. And what do? You end up driving 20 minutes, wait in a line, speak to a gym employee, and then the employee pulls up your account.
I want to quit the gym.
You want to quit?
I want to quit the gym.
You do realize you won't have access to our new full-service Swedish spa.
He will make sure that you have been a member for some time, and he will try to convince you not to cancel. He will give you different options, that you have been a member for 3 years, let's freeze your account for a few days, or something else to keep you hooked. But by the time you're done with this, you have already invested a lot of time and effort. It's easy to sign up, and it's painstaking difficult when you have to cancel. The same thing is applied by different companies. Take Adobe for example. Adobe charges close to $291 in early termination fee. The Department of Justice sued them in 2024. While this is Adobe, Amazon has taken a completely different approach. They have created 6 screens and 15 different options when you want to cancel your Amazon Prime membership. They will try to confuse you by saying pause the membership, change your plan, if you're sure to cancel, etc. In fact, Amazon's own employee called it unnecessary complication, and this created a friction that created a lot of people to give up their membership when they were in process of canceling. FTC fined them $2.5 billion, but they kept it for 6 years anyways, because even with the fine, they are still profitable. Let's assume that there are 10 million Amazon Prime subscribers, and let's say that their confusing cancellation flow made sure that 30% still never cancel. That means 3 million people who are still paying close to $140 a year. They did this for 6 years. The math works out. $2.5 billion fine, and they made close to $2.5 billion. This is almost break even. And we know there are more than 10 million Amazon Prime subscribers globally. So do the math yourself. This fine barely did a scratch to their business model. They managed to retain more customers and remain more profitable. But let's say you make it through the barriers. You find a way to cancel the button, you click it, and that's when pattern 3 activates. Pattern number 3 is the 15,000 jobs of retention specialist. In fact, in their job description, it is said that they need someone who can reduce the voluntary churn through strategic customer engagement. These aren't customer service reps. They are the people whose job is to stop you from canceling. And let me show you how this works. SiriusXM, who got sued in 2024. The court found that they used a 6-part retention script, minimum of 11.5 minutes per call, and their pay is tied to how many people they can convince to stay. In fact, you must have seen this every time you are trying to cancel your own credit card. They will take your request to cancel the credit card, but the moment this request is raised, a retention specialist gives you a call and convinces you the great offers or the lowered credit card fee to make sure you don't leave them. And here's where it gets weird. There are conferences teaching this phenomenon. Retention Optimization Summit.
One of the most brilliant things that we did. So the idea here is don't wait until after they cancel to analyze the data. A lot of the data you need, you already have. And cancellation is a post facto kind of indicator of unhappiness.
These conferences teach them the techniques and empower them how to ensure that they keep you hooked on a plan. And they also teach you the tools that they can use to help them to ensure that the churn doesn't really happen. This is a big industry, teaching companies how to trap you. And that's pattern number 3. Here's what makes them all work. They are not making this up. They are using psychology. In fact, Nobel Prize winning researchers. There are decades of research into how human brain thinks or makes decisions, and companies have found a way to weaponize it. In fact, there are 2 main principles. Number 1 is the sunk cost fallacy that you have seen in pattern number 1, where you have invested a lot of efforts and don't really want to redo that. So you go ahead and buy it. Number 2 is the loss aversion. Remember the gym or the credit card or your telephone? They will try to sell you the point that you will end up losing a lot of privileges if you just give up. Studies have shown that people fear losing something twice as much as they value gaining something. They frame this cancellation as a loss, and this creates the mental barrier in your head which gives you a feeling that you should not cancel. So these were the 4 patterns: price deception, exit barriers, retention specialist, and psychological manipulation. The same playbook is applied everywhere, and they will continue doing it unless there is a strong regulation that prohibits them. And that brings us to Europe. While they engage in different dark patterns in United States, in Europe, they have to abide by the strict regulatory guidelines. That means Amazon cannot have the same complicated screens for cancellation of their service in Europe. And the European regulations are quite friendly when it comes to protecting their consumers. They try to ensure that you get to cancel anything under 2 screens or 2 clicks. So imagine the same company engaging in different dark patterns across the globe, but not in Europe, just because the regulatory environment is so strong and so supportive. And this just doesn't stop when you're consuming service. Imagine a completely different form of data breach when it comes to your personal data. In US, Meta is using your personal data, which you can opt out for, but it is hidden deep under the terms and conditions. While in European Union, they forced Meta to pause AI training after the regulators stepped in. They demanded clear consent and easy opt-out, which was not even an option for everyone else outside of Europe. It is very much possible that companies can follow a better and more consumer-friendly experience. You have understood these patterns now, and you will start seeing them everywhere. Whether you're buying food, grocery, tickets to your movie or concert, you will notice them and would demand for more transparency in the system. Now you have understood and uncovered how different companies are using dark patterns to trap you. Share it with other people who you think can benefit out of it, and comment down below of any other dark pattern that you have observed, and let's see one at a time.